I'm going to do a brief video about this. And actually, I just wanted to drop in the link to the thread. So basically, let me see here and go back to the beginning of this thread. And this is a fascinating thread. And I will be copying heavily from it. So there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that in. Basically, Clint Clint Ehrlich. Clint Ehrlich on Twitter. Is a lawyer. Apparently, he's living in Moskva right now. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that link in. Check the link. Go ahead and put that in. Hopefully, when this does come up as a VOD, I can go ahead and see that. How's it going, 21st Century Longest? I've been reading. I was reading some more about Huey Long today. Very interesting. But let's talk about Kazakhstan for a little bit. I had to remind myself because uh, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan, they all kind of blend together in my head. Now, I want to say this up front. I'm no expert, and I'm basically going to be stealing what Clint Ehrlich wrote about with what's happening in Kazakhstan. So, Russia is sending in paratroopers. Belarus is also sending troops, as well as Armenia are all sending troops. Now, this is to secure. I'm busy. They are securing buildings. They are securing, basically, uh, important buildings for the country. They're securing those right now. This frees up the military to basically crack down on the protests. Now, this all started because basically the oil costs, I believe, I'm going to say per gallon, but I could be wrong. Basically, they increased from 14 cents to 28 cents. So basically, twofold. So what happened? Like I say, a lot of folks are saying color revolution. This is an attempt, but I would say that this is, like I say, the idea of the domino effect is that there was the idea that the Soviet Union was influencing all these countries to go communist, and when one country goes communist, then the next one does. In many ways, the United States and the National Endowment for Democracy are trying to do a reverse domino theory by trying to, create democracy, basically anti-Russian forces in Belarus, in Ukraine, and now Kazakhstan. So, like I say, it's a very delicate thing. Yeah, it's going good and turned 25 today. Thoughts on Nazarbayev? Not too much. I don't have too many thoughts about him. What I would say is that the actual president of the country seems very weak. The actual president of Kazakhstan, at least from what I've seen, is not very strong. Let me make sure of what his uh, name is offhand. Let me see here. Yeah, Tokayev. Yes, it's this Kasim Jomart Tokayev was basically very much, deep. Oh, good. Became deputy foreign minister of Kazakhstan. Yeah, he was under Nazarbayev. Nazarbayev, it seems, holds on to a fair bit of power. Um, yeah, a lot of the old Soviet leaders are still there, basically in Kazakhstan. I'm not doing the best job on this, but the heck with it. We're just gonna go with it. So, one quarter of the population of Kazakhstan is ethnic Russians. Really? Like I say, relatively small, but yeah. So it has Germans, Uzbeks. Yeah, Russians make up 23.7%, roughly. Yeah. Russia basically has its space program there. A lot of the space launch stuff is there. Uranium. They are testing their missiles there as well. So basically, like I say, they rely on Kazakhstan for a lot. You know, anti-ballistic missile testing at the Sari Shagan test site with Kazakhstan. The S-550 ABM is being tested there. There's a lot of stuff going on. You want me to let you out? Come here. Hooter! He's a fussy one. Hooter, come on. Again, you make it difficult, don't you? I'll let him in. Hooter, you are something else. I tell you what. Legally return presents to the United States once, probably. But yeah, it's a fast. Like I said, this is something that I think people need to be aware of. Like I said, this is basically the West trying to dab on Russia, and basically a lot of Russian fears are that there's going to be a Maidan, as happened in 2014 in Ukraine. They're going to try to do a Maidan in Russia. Now, the thing is, I don't completely believe that. Hold on. Because I think there are too many different groups, I think, in Russia that would try to take hold, and I don't think um, anybody really has that. I think a lot of folks begrudgingly respect Putin because he's keeping the system going. So I mean that's my view of it anyway. I think I'm going to have to be more of a, you know, let's leave these things alone sort of thing. But yeah, that's my view of it. I'm sorry this was so boring, folks. But yeah, basically, we've seen NATO talks. I think a lot of this is that I think people just saw an opportunity. Is that the deals that I'll read this tweet out. NATO Russia talks to resolve the crisis in Ukraine were set to begin next week. Yet on their eve, the revolution against the government of Kazakhstan began. Russia perceives this to be an act of hybrid war. Right or wrong, that perception is fueling a desire for revenge. From a Russian perspective, it is a two-pronged approach to regime change. First, Western-backed NGOs encourage large protests against an incumbent government. Second, armed provocateurs use the protests as cover to stage kinetic attacks. This is the playbook that was employed successfully in Ukraine to oust Russian-aligned government in 2014, and it believes that the West unsuccessfully attempted to employ the same strategy to topple Russia's allies in Syria and Belarus. Yeah. And like I said, once again, National Endowment for Democracy. Uh, so they gave $1 million. The NED spent $1 million in Kazakhstan. So I think, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. NED has kind of taken over the role of the CIA, this and that. Yeah, it'll be funny if this protest will end and nothing and everyone will forget about it. It looks like it could be that way. But even so, I mean, in general, outside of the Russian sphere of influence, nobody really cares about, Kazakhstan, really. I mean, Nur Otan, simply, yeah, Otan Fatherland. Oh, really? The Fatherland Party. Oh, wow. Nationalism, Origins, and Foundation. Yeah, okay. Sergei Terashenko, head of the became the head of the party. Yeah, Nazarbayev. Yeah, in support of President. Yeah, Nursul. Yeah, Nursultan Nazarbayev. Yeah. Hmm. I'm just reading about the party, this Nur Otan party, a little bit here. Very interesting. But generally speaking, that's what's occurring right now. Is that we see Kazakhstan immediately getting support from Russia, Belarus, and Armenia. Troops have secured government buildings, and now the military is starting to is going in and cracking down. I mean, I've heard, rumors, or at least I've seen some rumors where heads have been chopped off, this and that, of like security forces. I'm not sure about that, but it's very, it's getting very nasty. And we've seen, a Belarusian activist who was involved, helped organize Kazakhstan, the uprising in Kazakhstan, along with the veterans of the Ukraine Revolution. Yeah, yeah. The Kremlin's biggest fear is a Maidan on Red Square, a repeat of the Ukrainian Revolution inside Moscow. The more it appears the West is pursuing similar revolutions in former Soviet republics, the more aggressively Russia will push back. In America, the situation in Kazakhstan is a small news item. Yeah. And Moscow is currently receiving 24/7 news coverage, like it's an apocalyptic threat to Russia's security. Yeah. Like I say, this is just like anything else. Yeah. Most likely it will end in nothing. Yeah. No, I agree. Absolutely. It will. Um, I think Russia is just not, like I say, these are, I'm going to be bold and just go full anti-American here, but I think that this is the death throes, or at least, this is, uh, this is America trying to flex whatever muscle it has left. Um, the United States can barely hold on to its own country, much less try to the, you know, push push around Belarus or push around Kazakhstan. I think they realize is that they would rather, I think Russia in particular remembers when the immediate fall of the Soviet Union, the crackdown by the government, the huge amount of corruption that occurred until Putin arrived. Now, of course, people can say anything interesting in Eastern Europe that you know about. I have not heard anything. Not heard anything about stuff in Eastern Europe. Not too much, no. But I mean, that's my opinion. I think in general, people. I mean, I barely know where Kazakhstan is. Oh, okay. I mean, you think about the various leaders of, like, maybe Uzbekistan, or Kyrgyzstan, or Turkmenistan, this and that. But yeah, like I say, these are all countries that in general people don't think about. You know, but of course it's interesting. Of course, but another interesting aspect is that these are Muslim countries, this and that, and it's a different sort of thing. But yeah, I think I've really said enough on this. I hope y'all enjoyed that video. I think I tried to cover it in somewhat better of a response. Basically, Tildeer is, Russia, Belarus, and Armenia have already sent troops to secure government buildings, basically, so that they are not burned to the ground. And we see that, there's a lot of, hearsay, this and that, and probably nothing will happen. I will take the advice of the chat and say, yeah, most likely nothing will happen. Same thing with the Belarus riots. Um, I think in general, people may say, yeah, this place sucks, but you know what? I don't want, they don't want American influence in their countries. Simple as. I really think it's that simple. They just don't want American influence. And there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, I think that's all I got. I hope y'all enjoyed this. So see you later. Bye bye.